SS on Yahoo groups, and K4PEW for the ARRL.net email address, K4PEW@ARRL.net. And we meet at 8 p.m. on Wednesdays and Saturdays on 146, 405, 415 FM Simplex, and we invite everybody to use the net to announce amateur radio events and activities. Sound like one of those medical ads for lawyers on TV. And resources and training, and the announcements, of course, are the Wilson County Amateur Radio. They're not until next Thursday, the Wilson Club, and that's at 8 p.m. on Thursdays, 147, 105, with a plus 156.7. And on this coming Tuesday is Vanderbilt's Amateur Radio Club, which is on 443, 800, with a plus offset and a 123 PL, and that's Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. And then, of course, our nets, which are Wednesday and Saturday at 8 p.m., which y'all should know that. Okay, and I see I must be live, and everybody's got audio on both locations. Does anybody give me a plus, a yes on the audio feed, the live feed?
Yes, on the audio phone.
All right, very good. Nothing like starting out in complete anarchy here. Sorry about that. I had one of my microphone wires disconnected. I had been trying something out earlier, and I forgot to reconnect it. So, as they say, my bad. Is anybody needing fill on any of the really fast information I just gave? It shouldn't, because it's pretty much standard stuff. There is by the way, there's a beacon hunt. It's a fox hunt with a secret beacon downtown somewhere within 5 miles of the Vanderbilt Amateur Radio, Vanderbilt University. And best I can tell, well, I forgot what it was. I think it was on the 140. I don't even know what it was. If you're ever interested in the beacon hunt downtown, remember this is downtown defined, and the prize is a Raspberry Pi, and not a pie to eat, a Raspberry Pi, a little mini computer, microcomputer. It's really small. And contact Robin. That'd be the thing to do. Contact Robin at K4IDC at Comcast.net. All right. Any questions on any of that fast stuff I just gave?
Thanks for throwing me under the bus.
Well, you sent out an incomplete email, so I'm not sure where it is because I never did hear it. You know, let me put it this way: you sent out somebody else's incomplete email. How's that?
That's right. I'm not responsible for content.
They sent out a notice of a beacon we had to find and didn't give a mode or a frequency, so that was really made us look hard.
For all the scanner listeners.
Ooh, I guess so. Except you can't get a QSO card from a beacon you can't find.
Watch and learn.
I guess. All right, Robin. Very good. Thanks for throwing confusion into the mess here. We already have enough confusion. I have enough confusion, that's for certain. I live with 3 women, 5 dogs, 2 cats. No cats. 2 mice and 2 birds. And the birds are both males, so they're on my side. All right, we'll just start taking check-ins then. By the way, I did mention earlier, but nobody heard me. Somebody did. Somebody who was listening earlier before I started the net. But I was just counting. There's another, I've talked to another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 8 or 9 people on Simplex that haven't routinely been around, and a couple of them just heard about the net. And it's just kind of fun to see all the new calls, new people interested in the net, and then I get feedback from some other people. So what everybody's kind of talking about, and also Dennis, who I don't know if he's online today, but he ordered the new antenna just like I have, so he's going to have a big, strong signal out of Castellian Springs, and just a lot of people making a lot of improvements on Simplex. So anyway, I'll just go ahead, starting from the south this time, K4PEW. Everybody south of 40, please come in.
Kilo Mike 4, November Yankee.
Hello, Bill in Murfreesboro. How you doing?
I was doing fine. Been listening up in there with you playing, that's all.
Oh, yeah, if you know what they say, if of all the things I've lost, it's my mind I've missed the most.
And none of us are perfect.
Oh, I realized that many moons ago, Bill. I sometimes wonder how I got along, and I got to the age of retirement here. But I appreciate the support there on nobody's perfect. That's what I think that's what they said to some of those serial killers. You know, oh, nobody's perfect.
Could be. I'll turn it on back to you so you can catch up here.
All right, Bill. Good to hear you. And that's Bill Kilo Mike 4 November Yankee. He is in Murfreesboro with a great signal. Who else we got south of 40? All right, I got Jim in there first. It was a double or triple. We got KE4TYJ. Wasn't that what you said, Jim?
Yes, sir. KE4TYJ. North of Woodbury.
Yep. North of Woodbury. That's Jim. Great signal. Of course, you're on the beam again, of course.
Yeah, that's all I have up.
Oh, that's right. You don't have a vertical. I keep forgetting you don't have that. Anyway, it's a great signal on a nice, really nice beam pointed in my general direction. And that's Jim K, Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet. Glad you're in there tonight, Jim, on your night off. Who else we got south of 40?
KN4 MPV.
You also got the night off. Yeah, MPV. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the night off there, Paul. How you doing over there? Other than getting scatterbrained on me.
Oh yeah, well, I wouldn't know what to do if I knew what I was doing. I wouldn't even be here if I knew what I was doing. That's what people say. If I knew what I was doing, would I be here?
Well, I'll tell you, you're probably doing a lot better job than I could be doing, so I can't say anything, okay? Doing a good job, Paul. At least we're in there, right?
Yeah. As an old boss used to tell me, he says, at least you're sitting up and taking solid food.
That's right. But anyway, I'll let you get back, everybody, since you're running a little late. Send me a three to everybody. And maybe the rest of the night will go better for you, Paul. Send me a three, buddy. We'll see you.
Yeah, well, I forget to hook up wires, It's like remedial microphone connections here. Because I actually have this antenna, this antenna. This is not an antenna. This is a microphone. But this microphone goes into the preamp, which is over there to my left about 3 feet. And then it goes into this radio coming back right above my head here. And the trouble with that whole issue is I changed it to hook it up to the other radio to do something else. And I have to plug the microphone in this microphone via, how did I do that? Oh yeah, I was using another microphone. Doesn't matter. I was hooking it up to the other radio. That's how it got all screwed up. Anyway, that's enough of that nonsense. Appreciate you being there, Terry. Who else we got south of 40? Hello, Donnie. Sound good. Is everything going well on the weekend?
Yeah, we just walked in. We had our little get together tonight, Christmas meeting. So we just walked in the door and said, well, I'm going to try to catch a net before they close it. I don't want to be a lollygagger, so thought I'd get in there. So good to hear you tonight. I'm going to sit back close in a while, turn it back over to this. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't be there today. I was thinking about it right at 6 o'clock. I said, man, I could be over there stuffing my face with other people's food.
We had plenty.
I'm sure you did. No, it's tough for me to get out of here these days with two well, they're pretty incapacitated at the moment with my mother and mother-in-law. Anyway, all's well though otherwise. They're both sitting up taking solid food as well. Just not getting around very good. All right, Donnie, appreciate you being here. That's Donnie, Kilo 4 Oscar, Foxtrot Oscar, and he is just south, about 5 or 6 miles south of me, just east of Mount Juliet Road. Who else we got south of 40?
K4ID3.
Hey, Robin, you haven't gotten any emails on that, have you?
Good check.
No. Did you ever verify that frequency by chance? Do we need some interlude music here?
I can turn it up if you want. I think so. The last I had from the guy who's making these announcements is we found the signal strength to be about the same on either during our testing. Because I asked him, is it 490 or 495? He says, I believe it peaks between the 490 and 495. He's an inexperienced ham, so that ought to narrow it down.
So it's a variable frequency output is what he's saying.
I'm not going to say what I think he's saying.
I think what I'm hearing you think you're saying, or you might be saying, is that he's not sure of anything. But anyway, we'll leave it at that. The beacon is on either 490, 495, or some derivative in between there. So you can listen in that area. That's where this beacon is, and it's in a within a 5-mile radius of Vanderbilt University. So that gives you a general idea where it is. My wife says, "Well, are you going to do it?" I said, "Yeah, if you want me to leave and circle around Nashville, working up, triangulating from different signals, from different locations around. I can't do it from here. If I could hear it, I could tell you within, probably a mile or so about where it was, on a line of sight. But anyway, thanks, Robin. Who else? South of 40, please come down. Hey, Preston. Doing well? Did you work today?
I worked out in the driveway for a little while.
No, that doesn't really count. That's the stuff your ex-wife makes you do.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing, though.
Yeah, I had to went out and clean the gutters. I wouldn't have normally done that because it's got gutter screens on it. But my wife said, "You really need to clean the gutters." So I went out and they were so clean. I was back for the entire length. The house was about 65 feet long. It was, 100, so it's 130 feet of gutter. I was back in 15 minutes. It was that clean.
Well, that's a good deal. Yeah, I looked at my gutters and said, "Man, I really need to clean those out." But I'm gonna save it for another day.
Yeah, I got you. Well, wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad at all. It was just nothing really. What little I had to knock out of there wasn't hurting nothing. All right, Preston. It's what Preston. Kilo November 4, Charlie, Quebec, and he is in Possum Trot. Who else saw the 40, please?
W40
Hey, how you doing, Eddie?
Doing okay. Down here in my shop, trying to make a clear path so I can get through when I need to.
Yeah, if I could find a clear spot on my desk. So you guys can't see the desk down here. You can't see how sloppy it is. It is. Don't ask. I hope yours is better than mine.
No, they say it's the sign of an active mind.
Maybe radioactive is the right word.
Yeah, that could be true.
All right, very good. Yeah, you don't know what all those trains you worked on were carrying, do you?
Oh yeah, worked on a many of them.
I know. You don't know if they're, well, you'd know if they were carrying hazardous waste, I'm pretty sure.
Are you kidding?
I don't know if you knew it or not. I used to play in the railroad yards in a town that was full of chemical tank cars, so who knows what I was exposed to. Anyway, that's why I do the net. I don't know any better. All right, that was Eddie, and he's over here east of Providence, about 4 miles maybe. And that's Whiskey 4 Echo Bravo X-ray. A great signal is what you're easy. With your tower and your elevation and you got it made over there. Very good. Who else saw the 40?
Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor.
Hey, Larry, sound good. Everything going on and that neck of the woods. You get a lot of rain because it got soggy here.
Yeah, we got about an inch and a half. Woof.
Well, it's funny. It's the first time I've seen ponding in the one area of my yard that I hadn't seen, so I knew it was quite a bit. I just didn't see it coming.
What's that on your cap?
Yeah, that veterinary clinics of America, VCA. There's one here in town. We take our dogs over there, and they apparently, my wife got them, so they apparently either hats away or they were taking donations for the hats so they could, I don't know, take care of homeless dogs, I guess, or whatever they do with the money. I apparently I should be the recipient. I got 5 dogs.
Okay, Paul. Well, let's get on with it. K4, that's what I mean.
Yeah, very good, Larry. You have a good one. It's K4PEW with the Mount Juliet. Simplex Net. Anybody else out the 40? East of Mount Juliet Road. Wait, James. Wait. Go ahead.
WA4ZHI.
All right, I got you. You doing all right, James?
Yeah, I'm getting on pretty good.
Good. Family's good?
Yeah, so far.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to make the announcement. Just to think, talking about you, of course, next Saturday is the breakfast at Barbecues. They're on the east side of Mount Juliet Road. And it's not too far from James's house. Well, can't get to it the same way. It's not on, he doesn't live on that road, but yeah, because James, I don't think you've missed one of those breakfasts, have you?
Maybe a couple, but yeah, I can get there in about 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah, it's not too far away. But anyway, I think it's a good location. My wife said maybe you could change the location in the future to that pancake house. You know, the new one over there by Walmart. I said, yeah, maybe.
I'm open to pancakes too.
Oh yeah, no, I mean there's nothing. You know, they've been treating us good over there. I hate to just change for the sake of change. You know, no big thing, but doesn't mean we couldn't move it around. You know, we don't have to stand on you know, tradition. Our big 1 year or so of tradition at the breakfast, but or maybe 2. I forget how long it's been. Anyway, appreciate you being there, James. That's Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel India. He's right here in the heart of Mount Juliet. Great signal from his indoor antenna. Who else south or east of Mount Juliet Road?
KN4LXH.
All right, now hold on. I think I heard Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo first. That's surprising given his antenna. Go ahead, Richard.
Well, good evening to you too, boss. Hope you've had a great day and everything went your way. Thank you for what you do, and hope everybody's having a good day. I got nothing to add, subtract, multiply, divide the whole thing. I'll be sitting here listening until the swap, swindle, trade, gouge, spook, whatever it is. And y'all take care. Thank you. Talk to you later. KI4SIB.
Very good, Richard. Of course, that's Richard, KI4, Kilo India 4, Sierra India Bravo over in Lebanon. He's taking funding for his, see, if he quit smoking, you'd be able to pay for that antenna last month.
You're probably right. Oh, one thing I do want to mention, December the 30th, which is a Saturday, me and another fellow will be teaching a group of Boy Scouts up at Boxville. It starts at 8 o'clock, but I'm not exactly sure what time the radio transmit station time will be. But I'll find that out and let y'all know as soon as possible. But if some of the guys on the NSFLS group could be kind of hanging out that day, I'd appreciate it. Give these kids somebody to talk to. Thank you. KI4SIB.
All right, yeah, I do want to mention again about that. In fact, I'll send out a reminder about that, if you don't mind, on the system to get to the 71 people or so. For the December 30th from Boxwell, they're going to be doing some simplex and repeater use for the Boy Scouts who are earning their radio communication merit badges, which is a good cause. But, you know, for those of you who are available on the 30th, but I'll be sending out a reminder. And I also heard, who did I hear in there? Jimmy, KN4LXH.
Hey, Paul, how's it going?
It's, well, aside from my faux pas, as they say in French, this earlier in the net, I'm doing great.
Roger. Well, I was on HF earlier this afternoon, and I turned on the vertical, and I got nothing. Zero zip, not on 20, 40, or 80. Put the SWR meter on it, and it's like 20 to 1 across everything. So I'm just wondering, do these Hustler verticals, do their traps fill up with water? Because we had a lot of rain here.
Wow, sounds like it did actually, doesn't it? Has anybody had any issues with, well, that's what Jimmy wants to know, issues with Hustler verticals and water intrusion on the traps?
Oh, I had that problem with the round mounting vertical that I had.
Yeah, one of the, I don't know if you heard, you could probably hear Michael up there, didn't you?
Yeah, did you just put some RTV on the trap seal or what? Well, actually, I just kind of let them dry out. They have a little drain hole supposed to have in the bottom of the trap for the moisture to get out. But you just have to wait a day or two for it to dry out before it really do anything. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Okay, well, thanks for the advice. Back to you, Paul.
Yeah, but that's a pain, you know that? I've had that happen to vertical, but it wasn't that model. It was a wholly different model. No traps, though. It was just, yeah, the last vertical I had before this one. It was that it's a UVS 300 made by whatever the name. I forget. I can't think of the name of it right now. But they had the same problem with moisture. That was at that point I said I'm buying the good one. I haven't had a problem since. All right, very good, Jimmy. Appreciate you being there. That's Jimmy Kilo November 4 Lima X-Ray Hotel, and he's on the north end of he's up on the north end of Mount Juliet, up by Lebanon Road, north of the high school. Very good. Hey, good to have you in there, Jimmy. Hope that helped you out a little bit. Or maybe if you sent a message to the group, perhaps would be a better way, because that way there's about 70 people. And just ask about that, and to give the model and see if other people have had similar issues. Anyway, who else? I did hear another one or two people in there in that last call. Please come down. Yeah, Richard.
Quick thing, W4LSX is traveling between Portland and the Fed. 30 and said he could hear you and us doing the net. Just wanted to say hello and check in.
And who is that? I'm sorry.
Daniel, W4LSX. He lives in Moss, Tennessee, but he's headed to work.
Okay. And he was, I'm sorry, the first name of him was what?
Daniel.
Okay, very good. That was Whiskey 4 LSX. Okay, very good. Yeah, I'm hoping he can check in, because I don't know if we've had him on a direct check-in, have we?
He's tried well, no, I don't think he's heard you from where he lives, but he hasn't gotten brave enough to try yet, I don't think, but he's working on it.
Okay, no, that's very good. I just like to think that's one of the things I believe that is and you guys have heard me say this many times. I think that having a Simplex Net drives those interested to improve their systems, and otherwise there's no reason to do anything. If you're just happy, again, it's not a slur, but if you're happy talking to who you're talking to with what you got, great. But if you're trying to hear people farther away, you go, oh my gosh, I got to do something. And some of that something is, I think I told you, Dennis just bought an antenna from Gigaparts like I have, and I told him, I said, I really don't think you'll be disappointed, and if you are, I'll buy it off you for half price.
I bet you would. Anyway, thank you. Y'all take care of business. Get talk to you later, Cowboy.
Yeah, very good. That was a check-in via Richard. That was Dan, Whiskey 4 Lima Sierra X-ray, and he's mobile, and up in the northern part of the state. Who else? Where was I? East of Mount Juliet Road.
T4TW.
Yeah, I did tell you that your better half checked in that night you weren't home.
Yes, she did. She sure did by her HT. So, yep, I'm hearing everybody. I didn't hear many people south of Ford, but everybody east of her. So.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't want to say that your wife is talking to men when you're not home. I just thought that was a bad idea.
I'm probably pretty safe with this bunch, but you never know.
No, she did fine. In fact, it threw me a curve because I didn't. Usually, if she was checking in, you would check in first. So that's why it kind of threw me a curve. Very good, Wes. That's Wes, and he's down there just a little bit northwest of Watertown. And that's Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey India. Who else? East of Mount Juliet Road.
Okay, I'm sorry to
Hey, Stan. I'm gonna have to learn to write faster. That's what it's gonna have to do. You doing okay over there? You staying dry now?
I'm trying to evolve and play a little bit in the FT8 roundup contest. That's all I've been doing.
So that, man, I bet you the waterfall's busy today, huh?
Yeah, pretty busy. I played around on 80 and 40, a little bit on 20 earlier, but mainly 80 and 40 at night.
Do you hear many people like on 160?
No, I haven't hit 160. I don't really have enough room here to put a 160.
Well, doesn't mean you can't hear them, though.
No, I can hear mostly stateside stuff. I've worked just the U.S. and Canada on 160, but that's about it for me.
No, I got you. Yeah. No, I just noticed when I was doing digital stuff, you could often, even though my antenna is not very efficient for 160, I had workstations on 160 in the digital modes.
Yeah, it's one of the neat things about FT8. I mean, you can work some pretty weak signals.
Yeah, pretty weak signals. You can't even hear or see them.
Yeah, I've seen decode stuff that wasn't even in the waterfall.
Exactly. That's what makes it weird. And that's what makes it, I'm not saying it's easy, but it's certainly stuff you wouldn't get otherwise. You weren't going to work that guy on phone.
No, that's for sure. Yeah. We have Joe to thank for that moment. I think he originally developed it for EME stuff, but he's worked good on HF.
Yeah, very good. Of course, that's Stan over in Lebanon, and that's Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo. Great signal. Excuse me, great signal. Who else east of Mount Juliet?
I can't keep for him, I think.
Mr. Metal Screen Door Antenna Man.
No, that ain't me. I would never. What are you doing, Paul?
Having fun as usual. It's all fun. You heard me ranting. When was that? Yesterday? This morning? And I think to myself, man, I'm just having fun. It's all fun to me. If this wasn't fun, really, I can't remember the last time I've heard anybody. I have heard people that are really ticked off on the air about something. They were mad at somebody, and that was bad. And I've seen them kicked off at repeaters for that. But it's so infrequent that you have people that aren't having fun talking to friends. On any mode for that matter.
Oh, yeah. It's always good to talk to somebody. And then there's the other side of that coin. You just always talk to nobody.
I've done that. Talk to myself.
You and me both. All right, I'll let you get on with it. KC4, by the way.
I know, I get that. My mother will be talking to the dogs, or she'll be talking to herself. What am I getting this task? I go, who are you talking to? Nobody, just me. Okay, very good. Try to do it silently next time, so I don't jump up and wonder what you're doing. All right, very good. That was Kevin, Kilo Golf 4, Mike India Zulu in Lebanon, just a little bit west of downtown, or a little bit west of the square. Good signal as always. Hey, who uses a handheld from your experience besides Jeff? Who has used a handheld from? I guess Richard has too. But anybody else in the Lebanon area that was using a handheld for the net? Kevin?
Oh no, was we supposed to use a handheld?
No. I just wondered if somebody had mentioned that they heard somebody with a very low signal and they thought it was a handheld. And I said, well, I can't imagine who that was. And he thought it might be you. I said, no, I've never even heard Kevin on a handheld on the net.
No, I'm not on a handheld. Using 847 or 857. Goodness, don't even know the numbers. No, that wasn't me.
Yeah, 857, 858, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
All right, very good, Kevin. Kevin in Lebanon. Who else east of Mount Juliet Road?
K4DZ.
Hey, which antenna you on, Earl?
I'm on the one that's been hanging on a coat hanger in my closet.
And is that which one is it? That's not the one you had for mobile, was it?
No, that's still on the grill lid out there. And I talking on that there Diamond X300 antenna out there. Richter set it up, trying to make up my mind whether to do the chainsaw dance or the read the paper and get the toolbox out, and which one was easiest. Couldn't make up my mind until I found some additional pieces and parts in my junk piles around here to make up my mind. Okay.
Yeah, I got you. Well, you're doing a good job today. I kind of looked at the meter, but you were probably S9 easily here into the station today. So whatever you're doing in the closet there, and I'm not going to tell you to come out of the closet, but I'd stay in there if it was a good signal.
Yeah, I know. You got to be careful about things like that nowadays. You never know what kind of Pandora's box you might open up. But no, I got it out and found I got it out in the yard. Got it about I don't know, it might be 10, 11 feet up off the ground, and found me a good piece of not too long coax, and that taper end of that TV pipe had standing up in the backyard. I've been using for straightening out my TV antenna a time or two. It fit right down inside those broken off tower legs in my tower foundation out there. And once I figured out it was going to be easy to stand that thing up, it was on. And I grabbed it, snagged it, and there you go. Now I'm talking on it. I'm getting a whole lot better receive on it too. I guess it might be worthy to put up on the on the tip top of my tower when I get around doing that rector set. What do you think?
Yeah, well, you're doing good now, so you get it way up on the tower. You're gonna be killing us over here.
Well, that's good. I'm getting you back up to where I normally been getting you at, about 20 over. But give you a lot to. Well, I don't know. Might be. Just seems to me like I don't know. Your audio could be a little bit stronger, but then again, well, I'm just a receiver over here. It might just be other things too. But I went back to my other 2-meter all mode radio, so I wouldn't be putting too many changes out there on whoever else might be listening. And kudos on the unexpected radio operator headspace. That was a mighty fine dissertation on what not to do, and make sure you check, double check, and recheck again before you do what you're doing over there. Kudos, man. Attaboy medal to Paul over there for today.
Yeah, just goofing around here, making a mess of things. Just showing that I did it on purpose just to show I was human. How's that? All right, Earl, glad to have you in there. That's Earl. He's over there by Noreen or in Noreen. I'm not sure the exact dimensions of Noreen, but it's Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu, which is just a little bit east of the Cedars of Lebanon Park. Who else east of Mount Juliet? All right, then we'll move up north of Lebanon Road, north of Division Street.
WE4E.
Hey, Danny. Yeah, I talked to you earlier in the week, I should say, but good to have you on the net.
Good to be here, Paul. I intend to be here Wednesday night, but best laid plans of mice and men and all that.
No, I understand. There's no, we're a group that has no requirements other than, well, we have no requirements.
Well, I'm just, I'm thankful that you have a Wednesday night net because I wouldn't have had one to miss if you didn't.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know if I told, was it you I told? I found out we're the largest Simplex Net south of the Kentucky border, north of, BCB, north of Alabama, Georgia border, west of Crossville and east of Nashville on this frequency.
That is unbelievable. That's an achievement. I mean, it's a testament to the commitment to the net and the commitment of the members, the people that check in. So very well done. You're to be commended.
Well, it's kind of I presume it is because I don't hear anybody else. There are other Simplex nets. There's some guys down in Alabama that I think you heard about that. And they hold a big Simplex group down there, and I've heard guys up in Kentucky doing that. And so and even in northern part of this Middle Tennessee and also over to the east, but it's less populated just due to it being more rural. And we're fortunate here. We've got I don't know how many within 45 miles of me. I'm guessing there's I don't even know, a million people, maybe not a million hams, but there's got to be a million people.
Yeah, if not certainly close to it. So yes, you're correct. It's not a bad metropolitan area. And you are not too terribly far removed from downtown Metro Nashville. So yeah, all things being considered, to get upwards in the high 20s now, that's not a bad day's work to gather that many people in one place.
No, it isn't. It isn't really, but it's it's actually it's more than just me, obviously, because I can't have a net without people checking in. And they could have a net without me. It's just that I make it so that it's it's got discipline, so to speak. At least it's on the same nights of the week and it's at the same time at time. And so everybody, and even people who aren't checking in, I'm confident there are. I just don't know where they are. Because you know darn well there's scanner listeners out there who run across us and other people who are just scanning the bands who are hams who check in or who just listen in. And as long as they're getting something out of it, I'm happy. I don't, because we could sit here for 2 hours if we had 40 or 50 or 60 people checking in, like the M-Tiers network or something, that has that many, or even the Williamson County, I think, gets 70 or 80 people checking in on their repeater net.
Yeah, I've checked into Williamson County areas a couple of times, and yes, you're right, it does get protracted. There's a lot of people down there, but that 210 repeater is big. It's got big ears, so that covers a wide area. You being where you are and with the commitment you've made to your antenna and whatever else, that certainly helps, because there's an awful lot of us that can't hear each other, and like you were said, talking about the whole point of the exercise of Simplex is to kind of up your game a little bit. I'm on my third antenna since I've started doing this, and there's more to it. It's going up higher here hopefully before Christmas, but we'll just have to kind of see how that goes. I'm anxious to get that thing up some altitude and see it. By the numbers, it should do better than what I've used previously, but I guess it remains to be seen.
Yep. No, it is interesting. In fact, now people I find out behind my back, they're blaming me for spending money too when they talk to their XYL.
Oh, I've thrown you under the bus a couple times, yeah.
Yeah, you said, hey, I'm sorry, I'm in the club and it's mandatory.
Well, Paul said.
Yeah, I can just see me walking through the mall with my hat on that has my call on. I get slugged by a wife.
Yeah, exactly. You got your Make Simplex Great Again hat on, and somebody comes up there and smacks you, and you don't know who they are.
That would be pretty funny, actually. Yeah, well, Danny said, well, Danny who? That would be funny. All right, Dan, we appreciate you checking in. Whiskey Echo 4 Echo, and he's in Hendersonville with a great signal. Of course, he's only across the river from Wilson County here going north. Who else north of Mount Juliet? Please come in. Nothing north? Nothing? Second to last chance.
WV0NOO.
Yeah, I'm always unsure. In my military, which I've been out of the military for 47 years or something like that, I still, when I put a 0, I put a slash through it. And on your call, I don't know which one to put the slash through.
Put it through the first one.
Yeah, no. It's just, you don't see many people doing that, though. I don't think you do. You see people doing that? Put a slash through their zeros?
No, I do, but I'm sensitive to it.
Yeah, so how you doing, Mark?
Doing well. Just, actually, I was sitting here listening to the death. I fell asleep. My wife had to come up here a few minutes ago and said something to me. I slept right through it.
Well, maybe we need a new byline for the net, the cure for insomnia.
Yeah, well, if you held it down at 3 o'clock in the morning, I could probably make it for sure. But around 8 o'clock, I get pretty sleepy.
My problem is I've gotten older, and I'm not real old. I'm going to be 70 next year. But I do notice that if I eat a regular kind of medium to large dinner, I really want to zonk out within about 30 minutes.
Yep. That's me. Well, have a good evening. Carry on. I'll be sleeping through the rest of it.
All right. Very good. The sleeping or no snoozing Mark, he's in Old Hickory, and that's Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar. Great signal, but again, he's only probably 5-6 miles from me. Who else? And that's not by the road, of course. HF doesn't actually follow roads. I'm not sure you guys knew that. Who else do we have north of Mount Juliet? All right, moving to the west. Last quarter there, last quarter, half, whatever it is. West of Mount Juliet, please come in. Hey, Mike, how you doing? Yeah, we got another convert with the antenna. I'm going to start. I don't know if you know what that is. We used to call them a slush fund. People borrow money and then they pay back exorbitant interest. It's actually called loan sharking, but it's a nicer way of saying it.
I'm with you on that.
No, I think you might have heard me say that. Then I told Dennis, he goes, so what do you think? I said, yeah, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. I really don't.
I would put money on that.
Well, it's amazing. It is. I hate to keep saying that, but it really blows your mind when you put up a high quality, high gain antenna, and you get you're satisfied beyond what you thought it would do. I was skeptical really, and yet it outperformed the other antennas I had. I said, man, what a dummy I am for not getting one a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. And I went from hearing like 4, maybe 5 people to now like 8
And you did put it up a little higher, though, did you not?
It's actually, the other antenna was on a 26-foot mast, and this one is too, but it's a 24-foot antenna.
Okay, so the base of it's at the same location, and you like quadrupled the stations you could hear.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I get up another 10 or 15 feet, I think it'll be even better.
This sounds like one of those commercials that you see on late night TV selling jewelry and cheap furs.
Well, you stick with what works, is what I think.
Oh, absolutely. And again, it doesn't mean everybody has to have one, obviously, but it sure is nice. Anyway, I think that makes I think it's 4 people on the net that I know of. I think that have that antenna, but some of them don't need that antenna. They got the elevation, and they, like a good example would be Eddie. He's got a nice tower, and same thing with Larry down there in Rockville. And they don't have to have this antenna to do a good job because they've got antennas. Bases of them are up at 40 feet.
Yeah, and hopefully before too long, I'll have my roof a little higher, and then I think I'll level it out for a while.
Yeah, I'm here now. That won't be enough. I'm telling you. You get that tower in, you're going to go, you know what? If I could only have another antenna and phase them.
Now I need a beam antenna to go up there too.
That's what Dennis did. He's doing that too. All right, Michael. That's Michael. He's in Belshire. He's a proud owner of an unnamed antenna with a model number X700. And it's Kilo Mike 4, Yankee Romeo Foxtrot in Belshire. Who else? West of Mount Juliet?
Whiskey 4, Alpha, Whiskey Echo.
Hold on, John. I got Jeff on the horn here from Madison. How you doing, Jeff?
Okay, Paul, how are you guys?
I'm doing fantastic. I did get your name right this time. I'm embarrassed to say I missed it last time.
That's okay. I've been called worse.
Yeah, very good. So how you doing? When you're working, since you work 6 days, when do you go back to work? On Monday morning?
Yeah, Monday morning. I'll be
Yeah, I was just messing around. I wrote it down and I don't have it right in front of me. The last letter in your call, I know it's WY for what?
golf.
There you go. I'm sorry about that. There was a double in there that messed my whole line and train of thought there. You'd think I'd remember that. It's to me, that must be, it is a call you asked for, correct?
It is. It's fancy. Real kind of lucky to been able to have gotten it.
Oh no, I agree, and it is unique. I mean, it's I don't know if I have. I'd have to look up the WY calls because I don't think there's that many of them, is there?
I don't know. I saw a rotational QRZ when I was WY2G. It got somewhere in New York, whatever. So apparently there's not that many of them.
Well, especially I would think it would be even shorter list of those that have, a 2-letter, 2 by 1. It's just unique. It's hard to forget. And I forgot what the G was because I got confused by John and his powerful signal blasting right over you. So, but everything going all right for you, Jeff, on your days off or day and a half?
Yeah, so far so good. Yeah, I can tell a big difference in this signal. Even though we're probably up this far apart, I can tell a difference in the clarity of this signal.
Oh, with John? Yeah. Well, you got to remember too, he's running 90 watts, 90. So he could probably get away at 5. I bet you he can do 5 watts to you without a problem. Very good. John, how are you copying Jeff over there in Madison?
I've got him down in the noise, but I'm trying a different radio. I've got a friend's Kenwood PM71A that he had me do some mods on, and this is the first time I've ever talked on it.
Well, that's the radio I use, and I find it to be a very solid performer. The only problem I noticed after I had it installed for quite some time is that there's a fuse holder in the built-in cord, the power cord that goes to the radio, red and black wires, the deal, right?
Right, yeah.
Well, I can't show it in front of the key. Well, I could, but I'm not gonna. It actually melted enough of the fuse holder that the top of it will no longer snap in, even though the fuse is still in place. It heated up enough to cause distortion of the fuse holder.
Wow, that's really unusual. Yeah, I was really impressed. This one, he wanted me to do a Mars cap mod on it, and the biggest thing was to replace the really noisy stock fan with one of those fantastic knock-to fans that are basically dead silent.
Yeah, well, I solved that problem. It was essentially free. You just put on headphones.
Exactly.
It does have a noise, but I don't know that I noticed it too much here. I really don't. It's probably because I'm talking too much. But no, I'm glad you're in there, though, John. I think I better write down the before. I forgot to write it down. But you're doing all right over there?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing fine. In fact, I just finished up this radio this afternoon, and yeah, I'm impressed by how well built this Kenwood is.
Yeah, no, I was impressed with just generally speaking about how well it works, and it's open to several other bands, even though obviously you can't transmit on all of them. It's not a 220 radio, but it receives 220 and some of the other frequency, some of the other bands. But no, it's been a great performer for me, and I've had it about 2 years now. I'm just, it's like anything else. I see people, and I've even toyed with the idea of getting one of those less expensive, I'll say off-brand, dual band, cross band, repeat radios for maybe 30% less. And I talk myself out of it because I figure that $30, I don't want to bite me in the butt even 5 years from now that I have to buy another radio.
Having done that same kind of thing with antennas, radios, and other pieces of equipment, I just finally learned in the long run, just wait and do it right.
Yeah, in fact, we went through that yesterday. Not we. Somebody was asking me about Feedline. It was LMR 400, and he found something that was 56 cents a foot or something like that. I thought to myself, there is no way somebody's selling Feedline, the LMR 400. And what it was supposedly, an equivalent. And so I went and pulled the specs on their equivalent. It wasn't the same as the LMR 400.
Yeah, when it sounds too good to be true, it's too good to be true.
Yeah, I just, you figure, and you figure that LMR 400, I don't remember if it was a review or it was part of their engineering spec, and they said they anticipated life outside in the sun and rain and sleet and underground is 20 years. So I'd rather have that than some cheap off-brand Feedline.
Yeah, exactly. But, it's just how much time do you want to spend up on the roof or up on a tower?
Yeah, exactly. So you're doing all right over there otherwise, huh?
Oh, doing good. I just got a little behind on some work, but it's all fun stuff.
Yeah, well, it's like, I had the pleasure of having a job I enjoyed. Not always, but, 90% of the time. There was some work I didn't like to do. But everybody doesn't get to do that. And anybody's blessed if they have a job they really enjoy getting up and going to work every morning and get stuff done and they feel good about it. And it's not really a job anymore.
One thing I finally checked off my list was getting my little HF corner that's in the same room with all my computer workstations. Finally got it all configured, and with my late hours, I've gotten into the habit of leaving the HF on, and at solar minimum, I've been shocked at some of the contacts I'll get during gray line at 3, 4 in the morning to Czechoslovakia, Eastern Europe, Spain. It's sort of fun.
Yeah, it is. And of course, you got to be up for that event. But you're right, though. There used to be a guy, when I lived in Florida, there was a guy, his name was, I forget his name, Saul something, Sunny Saul or something like that. He gave fishing reports, it was mostly for people who enjoyed fishing, obviously. And his line every night he was on the air, I'm pretty sure he's dead now because he was about 75 then. He says, you got to keep your line wet. And I think that same thing is true in ham radio. If you're not trying, you're never going to hear anything.
Yeah, I've just gotten in the habit of,
with the 7300, you can look across the room and see a signal and just run to it and tune, but I just sort of leave it on.
Yep. No, it is good. You do get a lot of signals that you wouldn't anticipate in this weather climate, in this like you said, in this lack of sunspots. But there's still people making contacts out there on CW and on phone. So it's not like it's a little harder, but my gosh, if it were easy, well, I don't want to say that. I got in trouble one time at a meeting. I said that if this were easy, women and children would be doing it, and the women got a little upset with me.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to a guy in Brazil, 5'9", at, I guess it was about 4 or 5 in the morning yesterday, and he just was suddenly booming in here.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I remember some of those Brazil stations. You swear their legal limit is 5 kW.
Yeah, I figured. I didn't want to. I mean, I looked up his QRZ page. One advantage is if you've got other stations doing the heavy lifting. He looked like he had an array of 3 or 4 towers.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's kind of like those Italian stations I hear too. They sound like really, really big guns over there. All right, John, appreciate you being there. Good signal, and that's Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo. And I forgot to mention that was Jeff Pryor. Not Jeff is not his last name, is not Pryor. Prior to John was Jeff. Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf, and he's in Madison. Great signals. He's had some improvements in his rig, and he hears a lot more than he used to, so he's happy. A little happier anyway. All right, who else do we have west of Mount Juliet? Please come in.
84 0 Delta 4 Oscar Dakota November. This is Mary and Marty over here in Bellshire. I want to say hello to everybody tonight. This year sounds like a good crowd out there. And we are running our 471. It's good to hear this crowd. This is where get back to one system with everybody. So I hope all of you have a good rest of the week. And 84 clear. And over to Marty.
Very good, Mary.
Before
Very good, Marty. Yeah, what Mary was saying though is it is gratifying to see how many people show up for Simplex event, and I'm confident there's a few more out there who just listen, who either appreciate what the people are saying out there, or just finding out who they can listen to. So like you, I am just as surprised as you. Not surprised, I guess. I'm gratified that there's so many people who do show up for a Simplex, and I'm not trying to set any records.